There is a lot of attention coming to the Aquarius part of your chart over the next Aquarius season. And this Aquarius season, I want you to really think about, where are you letting your head get in the way? Where are you letting your head take away your power? So how can we tackle Aquarius season this month? Well, one of the biggest things that I think we need to look at here is where we are confusing control. Yeah? Where we are confusing what we hold on to. How we are reacting to things. And what we're choosing to actually bring into our life. I'm going to get into why I think these things are important, but I think the biggest thing here is that your head could definitely get in the way. And we're going to show you how Aquarius deals with that, yeah? So you can use Aquarius energy and not let it use you, because there is a lot going on in this portion of your chart. If this is your first time here, welcome, grab a cuppa. I've got mine here. And the last video I actually did finish drinking it, so that was a positive. So grab a cuppa, let's just have a chat. I think these kind of chats that I've been having recently are kind of like ramblings of a Gemini. I kind of just ramble, see how it goes, yeah? So today, like I said, we're talking about Aquarius season. If this is your solar return, happy birthday. So I want to start with the Aquarius energy because it is normally one that is misunderstood. They can sometimes come across as quite cold, quite detached, like they don't have emotion. Aquarius do have emotions. They have a lot of emotions and they feel things really quite deeply. If you look at the symbol of Aquarius, it's the water bearer. What does the water bearer do? He holds the emotion. So he's able to hold on to this emotion and let all the other stuff, get on with all the other stuff, have control over the other stuff. And that's why by the time when you hear about them, oh, an Aquarius ghosted me or something like that, it's usually because they've been holding that emotion, they've been processing it in the background on their own so that that's not running their life. And then by the time you hear about it, they're done. They've already processed it and moved on. Yeah, but they do feel emotions. They're very, very structured in that way because they are ruled by Saturn. That is their traditional ruler. So they do have that structured emotions. Usually with Aquarius, one of the things that I have heard anyway, when they're grown up, it was always they were usually told, oh, they're the quiet one, they're the weird one, they kind of just go and do their own wee thing and hide out the road. And they kind of get used to that. They're like, well, these situations are volatile. I don't know really what to deal with, how to deal with that, so I'll just take myself and be on my own. And I can work away and crack on and get on and do what I want to do. Invent a new life for me. Yeah? And that's the thing with Aquarius season. We all have the ability to harness that energy of being able to detach from what's going on the outside world or in our heads and just get on with the task in hand. I think one of the ways that I really have learned how to harness this is with exercise. A lot of the times when I wake up in the morning, when I was like going back, when I was feeling burnt out and I wasn't in a good place, a lot of times when I would wake up in the morning and I'd be like, oh, I can't see this far enough. And then before you know it, I'm debating in my head, I'm not going to do it. This is not for me. I don't like it. I'm not doing it. And then I'd already spent about an hour debating it. And it was just like, okay, we're not doing it. If you're using Aquarius energy here, it's like, okay, I know you maybe don't feel this. We're going to hold on to this. We're going to examine this later on. But right now we've got a job to do and we're going to do it. And that's the way I've had to approach exercise. And I really think I have been much more consistent. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. So when you are able to hold that emotion and not let it react, not make it reactive, then you're able to stay consistent with what you need to stay consistent with. So this is something that I think is really, really beneficial. And I also think it's kind of gives you that when you're able to just like, okay, I'm not reacting to this, whatever this is. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and have a perspective over it. Yeah. That's kind of like the detachment as well with Aquarius. They're able to zoom out. The Aquarius energy, anyway, they're able to zoom out and have a look at, okay, that's there. Is any of this like going to kill me right now? No. Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll put that to the side. We'll deal with that later. Or they'll be like, okay, we can see what's going on here. That's getting in my head. Is it true? No. They can process things at a different level because they're able to zoom out and have a look around at what's really going on. And I think that that's something that we should start to practice as well. When you are feeling that little bit reactive, when you're like, oh, I'm just going to fling the towel in, I don't want to do it. Then you're like, okay, let's zoom out here and have a look. Let's see what's going on. Now, I did say that there was quite a lot of attention coming to that Aquarius part of your chart. And it starts on don't quote me on this, but I'm sure it's January the 17th when Venus moves in. That is the first planet that is coming there. Venus in Aquarius is like that detached kind of like, I can hold my emotions and I'm not going to let my heart like leap too much. I'm going to have control here. We're going to do this structured. If it's not for you, it's not for you. If it's not for me, I'm gone. When Venus is there, she's able to be cool and collected. Now, what does Venus actually do for you? But I always like to think of Venus is the things that make you feel that little bit richer. When you feel that little bit richer, you can become, it's your confidence, your self-worth, your allure. When you are feeling like that, you are more magnetic. You bring in more people that are your tribe. And I really like this about Venus because here, she's able to get the job done. She's able to do what she needs to do without every bit of baggage getting involved. Yeah, she sees the baggage, she's not ignoring it, but she can do what she needs to do. And it's asking you here, it's making you look at your life and saying, okay, is this really what we want? Is this what we want? Is this what we want? And when you don't want it, it's like, okay, well, like we've done it, we've seen it, we're zooming out and we're having that look over the perspective here. Yeah? Why do we keep on attracting these situationships? We zoom out, we look, okay, that was actually a me problem. Yeah? We're able to do that with Aquarius energy. And like if you've never used Aquarius energy or you've never tried to be like this and you're one of the other signs that you've not got a strong Aquarius placement, then it could maybe not be that easy for you. And it's something you'll need to practice, a skill that you need to practice. But we're all able to zoom out and see the bigger perspective before we react. And with Venus, it's the things you want. It's the things you need, the relationships. Are these things, have you brought them into your life to patch a hole? Yeah? Or are they actually what you want? After that, the sun is going to come in with Mercury. They're going to move into Aquarius. Now, the sun coming into Aquarius, this is your energy. This is your life force. This is the way you shine. So when the sun is there, it's like you're going to get this energy to be able to use Aquarius energy. So it's giving you that energy so you're not letting your head get in the way. You're not letting things get involved. You're able to do the things. You're able to go after the causes. Now, the thing is, like, we say Aquarius is the unique one, the weird one. They're the humanitarian. But if you're not able to be detached and deal with your emotions and process your emotions the way that Aquarius can do that, it's going to be hard to do your way because you're always going to go, oh, what will they think? What will they do? What will this might make people upset. Or if it's going after a cause you stand for or something that you stand for, then you might not have the courage to be able to do it if you're not able to detach the emotions and be strong for the moment and then come back and say, okay, I need to work on this and do all that stuff. And I think with the Aquarius energy, when the sun's there, that's giving you that power. Yeah, it's giving you that power and you can harness that power. Like I said, it might not be easy. You might have to practice the skill, but it's definitely there for you to for you to harness this month. With Mercury, that's coming to your head. Like I said, your mind is letting you see these patterns. It's showing you like, okay, there's a pattern here. This was actually something that happened before. Let's look at it. With Aquarius energy, you're able to zoom out to zoom in. Yeah? So you zoom out, you can see all the different things, but then you can zoom in. Don't get stuck in the zoom in. Zoom back out and zoom back in. It's kind of like that. Yeah? They like to get into the inventor space and be like, okay, and analyzing stuff like that. Right, we can see what's going on with that emotion. That is it true? Is it false? Is it what's it doing? Is it me that's actually the problem here? Like, and then they zoom back out and then they look, okay, like they don't react to it. That's where they are very, very, where you can really harness this power. Yeah, but definitely with Mercury there is going to make you look at things that are going on in your life and show you patterns that are maybe a little more intellectual than normal. But it's being able to, okay, I need to be able to detach from my mind at the moment as well, because you can detach the emotional side from it. You're able to say the things. So when we've got Mercury, the Sun, Venus, Mars is then going to come in on the 23rd, and we have a stellium in Aquarius. That is therefore 3 or more planets in one site. We have a lot of Aquarius energy floating around. This is where I think you might not be a strong Aquarian being able to hold that Aquarian energy, but other people around about you may be able to. And this is where they might be bringing stuff to you, and it's how you deal with it. And that's why I say the biggest skill you can learn right now is zooming out, taking a scan, zooming into where you need to, zooming back out, and not letting it get involved with not causing the reaction. And that means you're able to stay consistent. So when Mars comes in there, again, it's your action, your drive. But the big question he's asking you here is, what is worth fighting for? Where are we putting our energy? What are we going after? Like, what's happening here? Like, what are we fighting for in this area of our life right now? Where is Aquarius in your chart? What is it doing? What are you fighting for in that area? That's what Mars wants. And if you are fighting for it, bloody fight for it. Because see, if you're not willing to fight for it, Mars doesn't want to know. Now again, it can make us reactive, which can make us ghost, detach, but for the wrong reasons. Yeah, when Mars is there, our reaction style becomes detached. Can also make us, like with Aquarius, they can be quite stubborn as well. So it could make you more stubborn at times, especially if there's conflict. Again, remember, it's not just you that's feeling this energy, it's other people around about you. So we have this stellium forming. And I think the biggest thing is for this is like, work out what you are going after here. What is that goal that you really want to go after? There's a lot of things about the 11th house that comes into Aquarius. Yeah? Community, collective, that sort of a thing. Venus is same. I'm able to detach and do the things that I love for the collective, for the people around me. That could be it's usually the wider range collective with Aquarius. But if you don't really put yourself out there, maybe that's it. Maybe this is the time that you do start that. You start with the social media platform. You start the podcast. You start the YouTube channel. Maybe this is your time to do that. If you've been thinking about it as something you want. Detach, look out, zoom out, see the bigger picture. Is it? If it's the right thing, go for it. Mars is there, giving you that power, right? Let's put all the other stuff. Let's hold these emotions. Be the water bearer, hold them, but get on with the job in hand. And that's where Mars will help you fight for what you want to go after. The sun's there giving you that energy, helping you, bringing it into your bones, shining it out into the world so you can appear like you've got your shit together. The solar eclipse in Aquarius, the nodes haven't shifted yet. So it's kind of like a little tester, a little preview, if you like, of what the nodes are like working on. Because the North Node is going to move into Aquarius later in the year. So right now you're getting that little bit of a taster when the solar eclipse happens in Aquarius. Now I will have a video on this nearer the time, so just know that is coming. Yeah, I will. I'm not going to leave you hanging. We will have a video about it. But for now, I'm just going to give you the brief sort of stuff. So with a solar eclipse, it's usually fresh starts, new direction. Something that is like a lightning bolt comes in and says, nope, we're not doing this. We're going in this direction, and that's it. Yeah. And the thing with that is, yes, it's like a new moon. That is basically what it's like. It's like a intense new moon. But the thing is, it's at 28 degrees. So that means there's critical, there's urgency, there's something needs to change. You need something to end so something can begin. You need a pattern or a cycle or something that needs to end so that you can create space to be able to move on. And that's what this is really, really teaching you. Now, when you look at the eclipse, it's like you've got the Leo portion in your south. That's where you're comfortable with the performance that you have. But is it authentic? Is it a true self-expression? And do you maybe need to detach so that you can like detach the emotional side so you can perform more authentically? And it's finding that a balance between the two axes. Now, what is holding you back from being able to move forwards? Because that's what Aquarius want to do. They are the forward thinkers. They want to go. They don't care if they look different or if they're behaving a little bit weird, because it's what they want to do. And it's what's going to get them what they want. Yeah? So they're willing to be who they need to be. They can be a little bit rebellious. And are you going to harness that energy? What would you need to let go of to be able to give yourself the space to do the work, to be able to be there for the people that you stand by? Because when you're not able to be there for everything in your life, because you're too busy with the performance, one thing when you get the freedom, it's being able to detach, and that gives you the freedom to be able to do what you need to do. It's not about doing nothing. Aquarius energy helps you create space so that you can do the thinking, so that you can process emotions, so you can create something new. And that is what this eclipse is going to do is, if you've not got that space, it's going to help you create that space. That's what I can see here. Like, it's going to help you realign to the goal, the big goal, the vision. The last thing that I want to cover is Saturn in Aries, because Saturn rules Aquarius. Yeah? Now, Saturn starts Aquarius season off in Pisces, but he will move into Aries on the 14th of February. So we start off this Aquarius season the way that we've known it for the last couple of years, where we come in, we're able to, it's creative, it's inspiring, it's dreamy. When it's in Pisces, it can feel a bit blurry. You don't really know, it's kind of foggy. Reality is blurry. When it goes into Aries, it's like you've been woken up. Now, one thing I didn't mention there, Pluto is here as well, which is going to create an opportunity between Saturn and Pluto. Yeah? Pluto is in Saturn's sign as well. He's in Aquarius. So you've got these two working together. This is stripping the fears. This is stripping the wounds. When it's Aries, it's your identity, your core identity, your primal identity, the way that you were instinctually when you were born. What stops you showing up like that? What stops you being the person that you were brought to be? What patterns, cycles have you been stuck in that you've not learned your lesson from? Saturn is now like, okay, do you keep on burning yourself out? Like, are you not consistent? Are you not staying with things for the long haul? When you start new tasks that are helping you, you need to think, is this long? Because with Saturn in Aries, it has to be long term, which Aries don't really like. They like to just do the short term stuff and get on with it. You're not allowed to do that anymore. You have to slow that area of your life right down with Saturn being there. But Aquarius is there to help. Pluto is in Aquarius. He's known as the Lord of the Underworld, which is the darkest secrets, the traumas, the wounds, the things that make you give away your power. You need to transform pain into power. And that is going to help you with the Saturn and Aries story, which is ruling Aquarius at the end of Aquarius season. This is why it is so important. You have to be responsible with the things that you're doing. You can't just do things thinking, well, if I say that, I'll do that. Job done. Yeah? It's like, okay, if I say this, what's the long term out of this? How does that suit me long term? If I was still at this in 5 years, would I be glad I took that decision? You have to think like that with Saturn moving into Aries. So at the end of Aquarius season, that is going to really come. Now, I have got a video coming out on Saturn as well, but you need to start taking ownership. And I think that this is where Aquarius energy will help. You've got Pluto in Aquarius. I forgot to mention that with the stellium. He's another planet that is there. Zooming out, being able to see the past patterns, being able to see the traumas, being able to see the wounds of where that pain is coming from. Not letting it be, not becoming reactive from it. Being able to hold it and being able to let process it, integrate it. Don't hide it. Deal with it, but you've now got the space because you can zoom out and zoom in. And that's where Aquarius energy is really going to help. This is about doing things differently. So I think the big question here is, are you going to stop ghosting yourself? Abandoning yourself, abandoning the people in your life or the projects that you want to do? Or are you going to zoom out, have a look around, see what needs to be done, be able to hold your emotions, not react to them so that you can do what needs to be done this month? I hope you have an amazing Aquarius season. Not quite finished my tea today, but we're about halfway there. Have an amazing month, and I will see you in the next video.